Alright, y'alls. Back here on Tomboy Official. So I wanted to talk a little more about this gender related stuff, gender expression related stuff. And what it's like, particularly with, I guess, experiences with women and how they kind of react to things when you're kind of more of a kind of maybe masc presenting person or just not femme presenting. I don't know what I consider myself. I would say I have a bit of an androgynous style, but it's not too easy to peg. Like, I've talked about it before. It's like, I like button-ups if I'm going out. Short sleeve button-ups preferred. I like kind of cutesy designs and like bright colors and stuff. And I like I like board shorts a lot, but for me it's kind of like the colors too. I like bright colors, and I don't know, I'm not afraid to wear like pastels and pink and bright colors, I like the clothing that I choose to wear, but I don't feel like it's too masc or too femme, but it's probably more on the masc side. I feel like it's more like masc cut clothing with like more like feminine designs and feminine color schemes and things like that, if that makes sense. So those are kind of the choices I make with the clothing I enjoy. I think there's a lot of people, I guess, I'm trying to think, when I go to places that aren't necessarily straight up queer bars or queer spaces, right? Like gay clubs and gay bars and gay everything. It's a little bit different. Like, I notice guys kind of, if they don't know that you're a woman, kind of treat you more like a guy. Like, they'll bump into you. They won't say, they won't be as like gentle or kind towards you. They do treat you differently, that's for sure. Now if they notice that you're a female but you're still masc presenting, they'll still usually treat you more like a female. But if they think that you're like a dude, they'll bump into you and not say sorry. They'll take up space and kind of like crowd you and like not give you enough. Like, it could be something as simple as being in an elevator with a lot of dudes and they'll just like crowd you and stuff, and like people can act a certain kind of way, but yeah, I would say with women, I've usually gotten more of a positive response. Like, usually it's like they might not know that I'm a woman, but then when I talk to them and they know that I'm a woman, then they're like a lot friendlier. And that happens a lot. Like, I can't even explain how much that has. And guys, trust me, if you know me, you know that I have no game. Like, I am not like the person that's gonna go and try to talk to strangers or try to like pick somebody up or like hardly anything like that at all. Like, anything that I've ever gotten that came to me unplanned was because somebody else reached out my direction. It was never me like initiating hardly anything. Like, but the thing is, when you dress the way that I do, you kind of go out in the world and people kind of assume they know what's up, like people are gonna assume things about you. When I was younger, it was more like people were like, oh, she plays basketball, she's athletic, and so that was kind of like the excuse, like, oh, you're a tomboy, you play sports, like, and that was like, that's why I dress the way that I do, because I play sports, like nobody really thought much of it, and I was just kind of like, I just thought I was gonna grow out of it, because people made it seem like, oh, you're a tomboy now, but once you start meeting boys and all this kind of stuff. But once I started meeting boys, I started noticing, I was like, well, I just want to hang out and play basketball with them. Like, I don't really want to do anything else. And, like, a lot of the stuff with feelings for women was definitely pretty repressed. That's for sure. But, yeah, I kind of, like, almost actively avoided having female friends unless they were kind of more masc presenting. Like, I don't think I had any female friends, like, hardly at all. And, there's probably a reason for that. But, I didn't, like, actively try to make friends with any of them. But I don't know, man. Like, we were, like... Yeah, when I was a kid, like, we were not really, like, I don't know, it was, like, a different time. Like, it's kind of hard to compare times, because, like, all these conversations around gender were not happening when I was younger. Like, it was, like, you're a tomboy, you play sports, you play basketball, like, that was basically it. And so now, like, fast forward to now, it's kind of interesting, because it's like, I am curvy. I'm not like a box shape. Like, I'm kind of curvy. I do have short hair. When I wear a hat and I don't like wash my hair before I leave, like if I don't like wet my hair at all before I leave, it's pretty like, there's not really a lot of volume to it at all. And so if I don't comb it out so it's like bigger, it basically just is not, it's just kind of like patted down, kind of, if that makes sense. And so like I wear a beanie a lot around the house too, so it's like when I'm home, I've usually got a beanie on. I'm not usually just rocking my hair out like wild too much, because it gets messed up really quickly, so I don't really like to just walk around the house with my hair like just out. Like, I don't mind doing it, but it's like I don't really like doing it all the time, just because it's messy. Like, my hair looks messy. Like, if somebody came over to the house all of a sudden, I'd rather have them see me wearing a beanie than to have them see me with my hair all like wild all over the place, because it just happens so easily. So I usually just put something on my hair, and usually it's a beanie. And so when I go to leave the house, I've been wearing a beanie all day, so my hair is kind of like, down, and it's hard to like give it any volume without any moisture. And so when I do wear hats, if I haven't like showered first or like wet my hair and combed it after that or something, it's usually going to be pretty flat, and which is fine. Like, I don't really care. Like, usually I'm just going to the gym or something anyways. Like, I'm not trying to like do anything like major. Like, if I'm actually gonna go out, I will like fully do my hair and stuff. So yeah, on the times when I don't really fully do my hair, I'm like, I just like throw on a cap. Like, I'll comb it and then just throw on a cap, but I know that it looks a little more masculine to do it that way, just because you can't see all my hair, so you really see just like my hat. And yeah, when I notice, you know, I don't know, like, because this isn't meant to sound braggy, it's just talking about my experiences. Like, I don't think I have much to really brag about. Like, I'm not hardly going out lately anyways, but yeah, like, you know, people assume things, people will talk to me. Like, I've talked about all these stories, I think, before, like when I went to Cross Festival and I was in line behind these two ladies, and then I started, like, I made some kind of comment, and then they started actually talking to me, engaging back and forth, because they realized I wasn't a man. Like, there's stuff like that where it's like, you know, people get like a little more comfortable with you. Like, if I want to hang out with my lesbian friends and stuff, it's kind of obvious that we're all gay. Like, but it's kind of funny though, because like we can just go out and be like that, and then people will just come up and start talking to us. And I think it's like, you know, I think it's true that women who are more femme, that are into women, do have to be a little bit more assertive, because like, you know, people aren't gonna assume that they're gay, so it's really hard to tell. But I don't know, man. Like, I do always find it kind of interesting though when they like come up and start talking, and it's just like, you know, I know that they can see what's happening. You know, it's like they see how I'm dressed and they see how I look, and they make the conscious decision to come over and talk to me. And I'm like, okay. Like, and I don't know. Something that I find funny is that I've got these guy friends, and they're like, I don't know how to explain it. There's like one friend who kind of like, we joke so much about this, but it's like I'll just be standing there and I'm not doing anything, and like somebody will just come over and start talking to me, and like, and they're always just like how do you do it? It's like, I am literally just minding my own business. I am not doing anything. Like, but it's like I visibly give out a symbol just by the way that I look. Like, people can look at me and just be like, I know what's going on here. Like, there's no like doubt or question. And you know, it's happened to me with multiple people. Like, there's somebody, I don't know, there's somebody I kind of want to get to know, that it's kind of hard to get to know, because whenever I see them, we're drinking, and I'm stupid when I drink, and I can't like remember people very well. And the last few times I've come across this person, I was drinking or kind of like in a rush out the door. Like, I was there like short term with other people, and so I was like, you know, I kind of want to get to know her better, like a friend of a friend, you know. So I was like, I kind of want to get to know her better, and I like her a little bit, you know. Well, I don't really know her, but I like that she kind of like always remembers me and tries to talk and stuff. And I feel bad that like the last time she tried to talk to me, and I was like, I'd been drinking and I was so out of it. I was probably stoned too. And she comes up and starts like talking to me and stuff, and I'm like, damn it, like I missed my opportunity, because I was there and didn't have to really talk to anybody else. I could have talked to her more, but it's like, damn it, I didn't, you know. And like, I didn't think about it till like the next day. I was like, damn it, she was there like at this party, and like I was too busy not talking to her. I was like talking to other people, but it never crossed my mind, because I was like catching up with other friends, like friends that I like do hang out with more regularly, that I have a deep connection with, that I know and have known longer. And so I kind of just really wanted to spend time with them. So I wasn't really thinking about, like, I just assumed, oh, there's all these people that are going to be at this party that I don't really know, but I knew, like, a few of my friends were gonna be there. There were like 3 people I wanted to talk to, because I talk to them all the time anyways, and we have a close connection. But then this one person who I've been wanting to talk to, I kind of just, it slipped my mind to even like make any effort, because I was like so focused on like catching up with my friends and like hang out with my friends that I didn't really get to know her. But like, damn, like, and I was like, and I don't know, I have a friend that's like planning some other event when I'm not going to be in town, and I think she's going to be there, and I was like, damn it, like, am I literally going to go all the way to San Diego for like a day trip just to go, just to go like talk to her, because I know that she'll be at this event, and I kind of have to wait for my friend to like plan, because I don't have her contact information. I do, but it's like one of those tricky things where it's like deduction, So basically, I'm in this text group from one of the hangouts that we did where she was in it, and there are 2 numbers in there which I did not label, and I know which number is hers. And so I'm like, I technically have her number in a group text, but she didn't like give me her number. Like, there are just 2 numbers in there where I know whose numbers are whose. And so I'm like, because I knew the other person's number because they responded first, and then when somebody sent the list of who was in the text, I was like, okay, I know who's who. And so I was like, okay, but I am not that bold to be hitting people up like that, especially because like right now we're living like 100 miles away. So yeah, but she always talks to me. She always makes the effort to like say hi to me first. And I mean, I don't know, it's easy for me to say with little things like it means nothing, like, like I should, just not take it seriously. Don't read into it. Sometimes it is about those patterns. Alright guys, so I got interrupted while I was trying to record this earlier. I got interrupted because I don't know how to explain. I just know that I got interrupted. I was trying to record, and I just don't have a lot of space to record at night. Like, my room in the house is within earshot of some other areas, and so anyways, yeah, it was like after midnight anyways, and I couldn't, like, what am I gonna go outside like in the middle of the night? So I was just like, fine, I'll just talk over here, like I'll wait and talk about it later. So yeah, I had to wait, but yeah, I was kind of I wrote down some, sorry, I'm trying to get to some notes. I wrote down some notes, but within a blog post that I don't think posted, so I was kind of writing about what I wanted to talk about. But sorry, I have to click off all these ads from Blogger. Blogger on the app has ads now, I guess. And so, yeah, like, when it comes to people's patterns, like, I've definitely noticed, like, when people kind of treat me, like, different than they treat other people. Like, I don't think people necessarily treat everyone the same, but it is kind of interesting, like, when I don't really know somebody too well, but maybe I want to get to know them, and then they're, like, treating me kind of different from how they seem to be treating others. That's always something to kind of pay attention to. And I've also noticed when people kind of wanna, it doesn't happen a lot, but like when they wanna like get attention, like not in a negative way, but like when they wanna like catch your attention. So like for example, I've known people who wanted to get my attention, um, and you know, because they were looking uh, to kind of get to know me or something. Like even if we were maybe at an event or talking, doing something else, at the same time, you know what I mean? And we're kind of like hanging out like at a friend's house or a party or something, and say for example if they're like, hey, like I'm gonna go, you know, make a, I don't know, a food delivery run, or I'm gonna go do something like that. Like I'm gonna go make a run, um, and you know, to go get food or whatever, and like you go with them or something. Like they want you to come with them, and so it's kind of like taking you out of the environment where you're kind of like hanging out with your friends or at some kind of group event. Like maybe you're at the beach at a bonfire and they're like, oh yeah, like I can go drive, like, and go order a pizza or whatever and go drive and pick it up and bring it back to the beach or whatever. And then like, you know, or maybe they're hungry because they haven't eaten and everybody's just like not really eating. They're like doing something else and they're like, oh, I just got off work and I need to go grab some dinner, and they just kind of like ask you to come with them or whatever, like something like that. Like I've noticed, not a lot of people, but I've had experiences where people have kind of done something like that, where I'm kind of like, okay, like I don't dislike it, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, this is nice, but like I try not to like read too far into things, but also I'm quite oblivious, if that makes sense. It's like I kind of don't fully always understand what's actually going on. So sometimes I actually don't really know like fully what to expect. But yeah, I've definitely had experiences where I've been interested in trying to like get to know somebody, and they're kind of I don't know, they seem like they're interested, and they kind of, I think people kind of make gestures like that, like saying hi to you in a certain way, or like trying to like start a conversation in a certain way, or like trying to like get to know you, like inviting you, making plans together and stuff. And like I've kind of noticed people do that, and I think it's natural for people to do that. Like, it's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with someone, wanting to get your attention. Like, especially if it's not like harassing. It's like they're just literally trying to like talk to you, So I usually appreciate that, type of interaction with someone. So yeah, I usually enjoy those types of times, and usually it's like, someone who, it's still friendly, it's a friendly setting. So yeah, I've usually really noticed that, and I'm like, I do appreciate it, because I'm kind of clueless and I'm pretty shy and I'm not too outgoing on that note. Like I can be, but I have to be comfortable to be kind of more outgoing. Like usually if I first meet somebody, I'm probably not going to be like ultra comfortable. It kind of takes me a while to like warm up to people, but usually if people start giving me like hints or clues that they want to kind of like talk or meet or something like that, like it doesn't have to be like some romantic thing, but like um, even something as basic as that, like I can kind of fall into place with it and realize that it feels kind of nice to meet. And yeah, and let me see if I wrote about anything else. This is really a confusing app, guys. All these ads, like every time I click to a page, there's like an ad. Um, I do not like these ads. Oh my gosh. Um, so yeah, and let me see. Yeah, it's not. I hope this doesn't sound braggy. I'm not like I mentioned before. Like I feel like I don't have any game. Like I'm not trying to like be some like egotistical person. Like like people like me or this person's into me or whatever. Like not so much like that. Like I'm just kind of I try to be aware, and I wouldn't say my self-esteem is always like at its best. So I do try to be like aware of like how I feel about certain things or about certain people. I try to have like a level of awareness about it, if that makes sense. It's like I try not to be too, how shall I say, like yeah, I definitely try to have like a lot of knowledge about it. Um, and like I don't know, like I'm uh like just trying to practice awareness of kind of what's going on without being like negative about like, oh, this person doesn't like me, or they do like me or whatever. Like trying to be like a little bit more um like understanding a little bit more of what's actually going on. So I don't know if that's something that um is really easy to do. Like but yeah, I do notice like people kind of react a little different. Like especially like women, like they kind of seem to kind of a lot of times in my experience kind of make it known if they want to be friends or whatever. um I think it's perfectly fine to like the way someone is, kind of like their gender, kind of energy that they have about them. Like I like hanging out with a lot of like mask presenting kind of like women, like especially when it's not like people who kind of have like a lot of toxic traits, but like people who are just kind of like there's still the feminine energy of like the emotional side of things, and the connecting side of things, and the vulnerability side of things. But at the same time, it's like maybe they want to go play sports or just like do something like kind of like active, or not like a super touchy feely kind of event, but something that's kind of got a lot of energy behind it or something. Like because I don't know, like I love hanging out with my guy friends, but sometimes it's like, okay, like there isn't no emotional connection, but sometimes I'm like, I kind of like to talk to my female friends because there's more of that. And so I don't know. um uh yeah, so I did write about that. And I think sometimes like more females kind of appreciate women that kind of have like a masculinity towards them as well, or even if it's like straight women or whatever, um, they might appreciate that too. You know, straight women that are like femme women or whatever. Like I think sometimes they appreciate that, you know, you have like the masculine energy, but then kind of like a feminine side to you. And like I've noticed people tend to kind of like that. Like some people are really confused by it and don't really understand it, and they're just like, "What is going on?" And then there's other people who kind of like it, because it is different. Like a lot of people don't get those experiences out of one person. Like I feel like a lot of people have like masculine and feminine types of qualities to them, but I feel like, you know, when it's kind of like right down the middle, sometimes it's a little like, you know, people kind of want to interact. I've noticed that. And you know, a lot of times clothing styles kind of like point you out as a person who's kind of like potentially has those types of qualities. And I don't know, there's like the playful touching, not like inappropriate touching, but like playfully, like if somebody's like touching your shoulder a lot, or like something like that, like where it's kind of like, or putting their arm around your shoulder, or things like that. Like I don't know, like I've had some friends that were like female friends that kind of would like lead situations on where I was like, I don't know what you're doing, like holding hands and stuff like that. That's like I thought you were straight, but it's like I get it, but it's kind of like maybe they're not straight, or maybe they're like they got a little bit of flexibility to things, but I think it's harder for them maybe sometimes. But I don't know, like usually I'm like I'm down, you know. Yeah, but definitely the one where people want to like meet up alone, like that one is a big one that I've noticed. Um, I wouldn't say that it's definitely the clothing style or gender presentation, um, but it's like it does make a person stand out if their clothing kind of like implies that they might have certain interests. So that's kind of how I've viewed things. I've definitely had a lot of pleasantness about it. Um, like pleasant experiences with people and stuff. So I don't really know. Like I feel like it's like um uh like I don't know. I feel like it's just um like I don't know. It's maybe interesting. It's just an interesting set of ideas to kind of work with. But yeah, like I kind of like the topic. It's kind of hard to kind of put a finger on kind of like what exactly is going on sometimes. Like I think a lot of things require a lot of communication, and some things are kind of like a little awkward to bring up, because it's like I'm the type of person that doesn't really like putting people on the spot. Like if I notice something, maybe something that they do, or something that they kind of, you know, are a certain way, I might kind of be a little like, oh, okay, like what is going on here, you know? Like are they even aware? But yeah, like that's about all I've got to say on that topic. I'm glad to finish recording about it. If I come up with more similar topics on my mind, I'll definitely record about them. Just needed to come out, hydrate a little bit, get some sunshine, and all right, guys, have a good holiday weekend.